Cedric Evans wants to know, would it be a good move to make a Hawkeye Black Widow movie?
I don't think so. Could it be good? Yes, I think it could be good. But I think there's a reason why Marvel has already recognized that if you're going to have Black Widow in there, she's a secondary character. And Black Widow is a great secondary character. I think Hawkeye also would be a great secondary character. In this fantastical Marvel cinematic universe, can you really carry one of these films that in this fantastic universe they've set up with Hulks and Iron Mans and Captain Americas and Gods of Thunder, with just a dude who's really good with a bow and arrow, with no superpowers whatsoever? Or would he be a better complement in an Iron Man film? Would he be a better complement in a Doctor Strange film? I tend to think those are better complementary characters. I think Hawkeye, Black Widow, to me, are better complementary characters. Now, once again, that's a separate question from could they be really good movies? You absolutely could make a very good, interesting movie. I think we learned more about Black Widow in this new Captain America movie, which, dear God, you must see. It's that good. Anyway, I think we learned more about her as in a secondary role in this film than we've seen in all of the other films combined, which is really great. But yeah, I don't think there's a high probability for seeing standalone Black Widow and Hawkeye, even if they're together. Schnepp, what do you think?
Well, I would say Hawkeye right now has an incredible comic book series out.
Yeah, you were telling me about that.
Fantastic. Would it be a fantastic movie in the Marvel Cinematic Universe that they've established? No, it wouldn't. The Hawkeye comic book is just Hawkeye living in his apartment and kind of dealing with modern threats. It's like, it's not at that high-end level with like a tentpole type film. What do I love this comic book? I read it every month. It's amazing. Fraction, Aha, Woo, all these people are doing it. Keep doing it. Don't quit, because you got a giant fan base. Are going to have their second trade paperback coming out. It's a big hit. Would I see that later, maybe in a few years, as a way to adapt Hawkeye into either a TV series or a movie? Maybe in 10 years you do that kind of storyline? Sure. Right now, no. I mean, Hawkeye, Black Widow, no. I mean, they're talking about doing a Black Widow movie. I don't think that's going to happen, but yeah, I mean, we've got Phase 3 that's already filling out with Marvel. Disney is in that opportunistic point where they have 1 billion characters. Yeah, they really, literally. I mean, they haven't even scraped the surface of the next 10 movies. So you have Phase 4, 5, 6. You're not going to get to that point where you need to I need to see another film with Hawkeye or Black Widow. They haven't even gotten to some of their other characters yet. Like, let's see Doctor Strange. I'd even say let's see, Cloak and Dagger before we see a Black Widow Hawkeye movie.
When you're talking about Phase 3, right? We already know Phase 3 is going to have, we know Doctor Strange is going to be there.
Right.
Captain America 3 has already been announced.
Yep.
Thor 3 has already been announced. There's going to be an Avengers 3. There's room for maybe one more. I don't think they're going to use it for a Black Widow. Anyway, Alicia, how do you see it?
Yeah, well, I don't know too much about Hawkeye and Black Widow as in terms of comic book characters, but looking at them as film characters, I agree, I don't find them that interesting, although I am more interested in Black Widow after Captain America Winter Soldier. She finally gets more to do. We finally get to know more about her background, and I thought she was quite interesting. But I agree, I can't imagine a standalone movie with those two without any superpowers actually being that interesting. I'd be more interested in a female superhero movie.
Captain Marvel,
But here's the funny thing. If there was no Marvel Cinematic Universe, I could see a Black Widow movie like that. Yeah. I could see a Hawkeye movie like that outside of the cinematic universe. But once you've set up this universe of gods and titans, it's it almost, rightly or wrongly, it almost feels like a step backwards into doing something mere moral.
Exactly.
Yeah.
All right. What else we got on the Twitter board?
Matt Wright wants to know, will we see a RoboCop sequel due to its box office results?
You know what? I would have said no initially, but it had legs. And you know what? I've been on record. I liked the new RoboCop. I didn't love it. I didn't think it was as good as the original. But once again, going back to what we were saying before, I liked it. I was entertained by it. I thought it was a really neat new look at it. And its numbers are actually respectable. I think it's very possible. I don't know if it's likely, but I think it's possible, Alicia.
I would go and see a sequel. It surprised me how much I actually enjoyed the remake. I didn't think I would, but it was really entertaining. And anything with Gary Oldman, I'm in. So bring back Gary Oldman, Michael Keaton.
But Michael Keaton, spoiler alert, I don't know if he's coming back. But.
Well, no, they might have to. I don't know. I mean,
he could be in a robotic body, Michael Keaton.
All they need is a head and some lungs, and off he goes.
209
they cross universes. He's Modak.
Oh, that would be fantastic.
All right, what else we got?
The next one we have is Justin Matthew DeRoy, who wants to know, have you heard any progress on the Super Troopers sequel?
Actually, it wasn't that long ago that they finally said they were going to have some movement on Super Troopers 2. But honestly, after that, I heard nothing. I don't know. I think maybe somebody said, yeah, we're going to try this and started writing something, but I don't know if it actually ever cleared any other hurdles. Have you guys heard anything?
No, I haven't heard anything.
No, but I'm doing a shout out to Kevin Heffernan. I went to high school with him. Make Super Troopers 2.
All right, what else do we got?
Louis Fonseca wants to know, do you think that Michael Bay deserves all the bash that fans are giving him because of the new Turtle movies? Thanks.
No. I mean, I've said this before. Look, I'm not going to count myself as a huge Michael Bay fan, but I will count myself as a Michael Bay defender. Has he, squatted over and churned out some crap on Hollywood? Yep, he has. But he's also done some pretty fun films. Like I've said this before, The Rock is fantastic. I can watch The Rock 100 times. I will fully admit, Armageddon is one of my guilty pleasures. I have fun watching Armageddon. He's got a very unique, when it comes to bombastic, boom, blow it up Hollywood, there's nobody who does it better. I love the first Transformers film. I won't talk about my feelings on the second two. And let's not forget, Michael Bay did not direct this new, people keep forgetting this.
People are confusing
He
it.
did not direct this new Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles movie. He did produce it. And I'll say this, I thought it sounded as bad as everybody else thought it sounded. I mean, you cast who to play April O'Neil? But then I saw the trailer at CinemaCon last week, before anybody else had a chance to see it. And I walked out going, that looked better than I thought it would. And I like the design of the turtles. I like the new kind of twist they seem to be going on, that maybe Shredder and April O'Neil's dad had something to do with the creation of the turtles. And I really dug the look. The look reminded me more of the old black and white comics. So, am I going to say I loved it? No. But I will say it didn't look as bad as I thought it would. So I do think Michael Bay gets more negative bashing than he deserves. Should he be a celebrated Hollywood director? Nah. But does he deserve the amount of bashing he gets? And I thought Pain and Gain was pretty good too.
I love
Yeah, I
Pain
like
and Gain.
Pain and Gain.
Yeah, I was surprised by how much I enjoyed Pain and Gain. Laughed quite a bit. It's a really good comedy. So I mean, and The Rock was finally allowed to really act in that film. And I think the Transformers 4, I just saw that like before Noah in IMAX.
Right.
And at least 4 or 5 of us cheered after I wasn't alone. I
great
was like,
trailer.
my God, this is amazing. A couple other people I don't even know was like, wasn't that great? It was, yeah. Optimus Prime punching a giant robot dinosaur. It doesn't get better than that when you have a tentpole movie like that. And I'm like, that's exactly what I want out of Transformers 4, at least me. So I'm not a Transformers. I never played with them when I was a kid, but seeing giant robots fighting giant robot dinosaurs, it looks incredible. So, I mean, if that's Michael Bay, then I love Michael Bay.
I'm not a Michael Bay fan at all, and I thought the trailer for Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles looked terrible.
You're not alone. You're not alone.
A lot of people are confusing the fact that he's producing this film and not directing it, because the trailer looks like he would direct it. It looks exactly like a Transformers
You can
film.
certainly see his fingerprints on that film.
Yeah, even the sound effects sounds very alien and robotic-like. And I'm not a fan of his. So I think, apart from Pain and Gain, and that really surprised me. And I thought when he makes a smaller film, maybe lose the explosions, lose the girls running around in tight clothes, then maybe he makes something a bit more interesting.
Right.
But
So
other
Michael
than that,
Bay, listen to me right now. Just listen to me. Do not lose the explosions.
No.
Do not lose the girls running around or whatever it is they're running around.
Right.
And you and me will stay good.
No, and hello, April O'Neil. I always wanted to be April O'Neil.
You would have made I would have voted for you as April O'Neil
Right?
far
Make
more
her
than what they
Australian.
got. Yes.
Michael Bay, I second what John Campea said. Do not lose the explosions.
Don't
Do
listen to
not
him.
lose the women running around in skimpy whatevers.
Don't lose them. Lose the girls.
All right, let's take one more from Twitter.
David Pritchard wants to know if there's any chance of Boondock Saints 3 ever happening.
No, I love the Boondock Saints movies. I love those movies. And it's kind of neat to see, we know the one brother went on and he's in Walking Dead. It was kind of neat to see the other brother pop up in Dexter this last season. But no, when you really read all the drama behind the scenes,
gosh.
This ain't ever happening. I remember the main guy kind of wrote, I'm going to develop another Boondocks film. Well, good for you that you want to do that, but it ain't happening. So I just, which is unfortunate because I really love where Boondocks Saints 2 ended. And I thought, oh my gosh, this is an awesome ending. It just opens the doors for so many things. Yeah, it's not going to happen. Shtab, have you heard anything different?
No, but I can't say it won't happen. I probably in 5 years they'll make it. They'll make a Boondock Saint 3. I mean, for me personally, like after I saw that documentary about that filmmaker, I just was like, I'm just gonna, maybe when I'm 80, I'll watch all 3 again. I've seen the first one, but why wouldn't it not happen? I don't see there's such a love for that franchise, regardless of all the behind the scenes stuff. So I would say, sure, why not? And I loved the new RoboCop. I didn't get to say that, but I actually, seeing a sequel, I think it should happen because I was one of those people, like a lot of people were like, I'm not going to see it. It's not going to be like Paul Verhoeven's. I don't like this new idea. But then it went really like 100 degrees in a different direction, pretty much. Was a very emotional RoboCop movie. And and they did some cool stuff that I didn't expect. So the one thing I would say is make it R-rated.
Yeah. Alicia,
Yeah, Boondock Saints. I mean,
know.
I'm not a huge fan, but I don't think I'm the target market for the movie. But I've got a lot of male friends who just love those films, so they would absolutely love to see another one. I thought the documentary was more interesting than the movie or the behind-the-scenes drama.
Yeah. Right.
So who knows if it will happen, but I know a lot of people who'll go and watch it if it does.
Before, that's also the topics today, but before we wrap things up, there's a couple things I want to address here quickly. Earlier today, I was laughing a lot in my living room by myself, just laughing. And the reason I was laughing is because earlier today, when we knew Alicia was coming in to be on the show, and I started looking around for a graphic I could use as saying, hey, Alicia Malone's coming in. And so I did a web search, and I didn't tell her about this.
Oh, God.
I came across this old Tumblr blog of yours.
Yes.
And the very top story is this magnificent story where if you're back on someday, you have to talk about dating your gay friend or that you thought was gay.
Yes.
That story was one of the funniest things I have read in a while. So when you come back, you're going to have to share that story because that's just amazing. It's so funny.
Yeah.
But also, hey, honey, come here. She didn't know I was going to do this. Take my jacket off. Come on over here. Today is also a very special day. She didn't know I was going to do this. Today is my wife's birthday.
Hey.
It's Ann Campia's birthday.
Happy birthday.
This is Ann Campia, and it is her birthday today. And the reason she is in studio is because we're going to leave right as we're done the show. We're going to go to Disneyland and go get something to eat. So I wanted to say happy birthday to Ann.
Happy birthday to Ann.
Okay, we won't sing.
Happy birthday to Ann. She's running away. Happy birthday to Ann Campia, who's running off the screen right now.
Happy birthday to you.
Eat some Mickey Mouse weird ear.
If you like this video, be sure to give it a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe to AMC Movie News on YouTube. It's free and a great way to stay updated with all the latest movie news and check out our daily show, AMC Movie Talk. Also, don't forget to check us out on Facebook and Twitter to stay in the loop for our special prizes, giveaways, and contests.